We have spotted a 2027 Chevy Silverado High Country in the new green color. Now, green is in for whatever reason because Ram has 3 greens. I think Ford introduced a 2027 for the Super Duty in green, but I have to verify that. But yeah, let's go ahead and check out these photos. I'm really excited to see the new Chevy Silverados. But I think for the High Country, I think that Chevy should do what Toyota did with the Tundra. And I'll explain more about that here in a second. Now, I found these photos on GMAuthority.com, and it does say here that the 27 Silverado will have 9 exterior colors. And of course, the new green is called Trillium Green Metallic. It's going to be an extra cost color. And you guys have already seen it on the Trail Boss when they did the debut, although it did look a lot darker. So let's go ahead and check out what it's saying here. It's showing at the front too on the first photo. A lot going on here, which is a good thing. I do like the new headlight design. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit for you guys, but you guys can see you have a little bit of like brightness right here. Projector beam. Hopefully they do give these trucks adaptive headlights. One of the benefits of that is simply if you tow a trailer, the headlights can automatically level down. I don't understand why trucks have not been adopting that for the last decade, because it's old technology. I mean, they've had this, what, in the 90s? But for whatever reason, they choose not to put them on trucks. Now, I know some of you guys are really excited about no chrome, because around this grill, you guys see that's all like a satin material. It's not bright at all. I like that versus the bright chrome. Now, it's very possible that you will see some chrome packages on some of the trim levels, but typically on High Country, you can't get chrome bumpers and things like that. And I don't know how I feel about the black front end. That should be more reserved for like the off-roaders basically. Now, and it's very possible this is a prototype still, so it could get painted front end when they do launch these trucks. But I think that this is an actual, front end for the Silverado High Countries. But small fog lights there. You can see they have these parking sensors, and this looks like a dark gray trimming. This looks to be adaptive cruise control, black recovery hooks. You can see the air dam right there. I like the wheel design. I think that looks great. And what do you guys think about this orange side marker? I'm already seeing that the aftermarket world is going to go ahead and get a upgrade for that. And it doesn't look like it lines up with the headlight, so very interesting. You can see those fender flares. It kind of goes out right here a little bit too. See if I can zoom in. You see how it kind of goes out like this? Personally, I think this truck has the best styling so far. This looks a little bit thinner too, and most likely it's going to have the sequential turn signal. So it says the new headlights can be clearly seen up front, characterized by new LED headlights divided into 2 sections. So yeah, you can see that. You can see that top piece here. And then the bottom. The actual headlights are placed below the grille bar, wrapped on the inside by another DRL. The front bumper of this 27 High Country is black, which is the case for all 27 Silverado 1500s. It's comprised of 2 parts, the center section finished by a glossy black. So yeah, that is a glossy black here. And I don't mind these side pieces because, over time this stuff gets all beaten up anyways from obviously the highway, but overall, I just think that they should maybe paint this area to match the truck on these higher trim levels, just so it gets a little bit more class. Now, here's a good side view of the truck. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit more. I still don't like the mirrors. The mirrors look a little odd to me. I think they should have made them a little bit taller. It says High Country. That's nice. That's a nice touch on the side. They do something very similar with the Colorados too. And you can really see those fender flares, the trimming right here. The running boards look to be the same as the ones on the current High Country, how they kind of slide out versus pop down. And 6 lug, looks like it's going to have the 4-piston brakes too. That looks to be a 6.6 liter badge on the side. This one also has a bed cover. It's very nice to see that because maybe on High Country they might potentially come standard, because Ram does something similar on the 1500s for their limited trim levels. You can kind of see that back bumper how it has that step built in, mud flaps, and they have this front one here. You can kind of see the front one comes down a little bit to kind of protect those running boards. And yeah, I like the wheel design. I think the wheels look great. You can see on the door handles, smart key system on front and rear doors. They brought that back, which is nice. And let's discuss something real quickly. I think that Toyota has the best option trucks in the market, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that here in a second. I can see the High Country losing sales against the ZR2 for 2027 simply because the ZR2 has a more premium interior. What they have currently doesn't appeal to a lot of different people, but now I can see it really appealing and taking a few sales from High Country potential buyers. Now, the reason why I think Toyota has the best option trucks on the market is simply because of this. You guys will see there's a TRD off-road package here. If you're looking at High Country, Platinum and 1794 are the closest competitors for the Toyota Tundra against the Chevy Silverado High Country. You cannot get a off-road package on the High Country currently, and I'm willing to bet you probably won't be able to get one now. So you guys see right here, this gives you an electronically controlled locking rear diff. It also gives you some Bilstein shocks, so better than Ranchos in my opinion. And you see right here, I like this system here. When I lived in South Carolina, I remember watching a guy at a boat ramp use this system to get his boat out of the water, because obviously as people go in and go out with their boats, it gets wet and it's really hard to get your boat out, especially on that incline. So this crawl system is not just for off-road use. It can be used for other things, and it has skid plates. So it does come pretty well equipped for that $2,180. So it's not cheap, right? But again, if you're looking at a Platinum or 1794, you probably can afford to spend another $2,000. And they have a 3-inch suspension lift kit. So this is what I really want to show you guys. I really hope that GM starts to break this mold, because a lot of buyers out here would like to get the High Country, but some people don't really care to do aftermarket upgrades. Some people just want to buy their truck from the factory, get the lift done, and all this other stuff. Now, this is not cheap, because you have to spend, what was it, $3,995, and you got to get $2,180 for that off-road package. So this is not cheap by any means, right? I want you guys to understand it's not cheap. But at least it's an option on the Toyota Tundras. ZR2s are nice, but sometimes people still want that more luxury appointed interior. And if you don't want to do upgrades on your truck, well, what do? So I think that Chevy could actually close the gap a little bit with the Toyota Tundra, in my opinion, and obviously offer something that they've never done before. So here's a side rear view. You guys see the short bed, taillights. I do like the fender flares, by the way, too. Gives it a lot of class for sure. The cab looks to be a carryover, which is not a bad thing. Love this roof spoiler too. Here's a better view of the back right there. But this piece here is just a really nice touch to the back. I don't think, no, this is definitely not a multi flex tailgate. You can see some of the badging. Quad tips, that looks great. I'm hoping they're going to be doing LED lights here, just because sometimes those bulbs go out really quickly. They've already gone out on my 2024, so I've had to replace those already. But right here you can see a little bit of a spoiler, and I think this helps with aerodynamics, if I'm not mistaken. I believe so. Blackout for the badges. I think that this is not going to be production. It's going to most likely match the color of the truck here. And here's just that rear. I love the light bar. That looks so good. And the glass restyled. Those mirrors, man, wow. They just, wow. And I think these are the antennas someone had mentioned in the video. And that was a really good use of that space. It looks like a spoiler. But yeah, overall, this is a nice truck. I think that GM is definitely on to something in the market right now. I think that a lot of people are going to be excited to see how this all plays out, because they have a lot of issues right now with their V8s. But what I will say is, with them going back to the LS engines, I can see GM really making them more reliable. I've heard direct and port injection potentially. So we'll have to wait and see how it all shakes out. I'm really excited about this truck. I think this is very, very important for GM right now because of the issues they've been having. It's time for them to make a change. And I think a lot of people are going to jump over to the new trucks hoping for better reliability. So GM has to deliver. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. Make sure BFGoodrich are on. See you in the next one.